We held the event celebrating our past, present, and future together here at CHS Field for a couple of reasons. One, the issue of racial equity and the civil rights movement is incredibly relevant today. We see a lot of headlines everywhere, and we wanted to remind people that this history is still being written today. It didn't just happen in the 60s and the 70s. It's been in this ongoing continuum for decades and decades. And so the past is fascinating, it's important, and we have to understand it because it shaped the world today. So we wanted that piece in there. And the present, and this gets to the celebrate part, some people ask me, why are we using the word celebrate in this? With everything that's happening now that's so negative. And that's exactly why. We have dozens of organizations doing amazing work, just amazing work in the field of building racial equity, economic opportunity, all of these issues. And their work isn't being celebrated enough. We need to talk about some of what's happening today. And so we brought in a dozen partner organizations who participated in this, shared their work with people, and that continuum, again, of past and present is very important. So we go into that, and then the work that's happening today, of course, is shaping the future. And so we wanted to remind people that the actions today, the history being made today, does influence what's going to happen down the road. The other events that were happening here, we had a youth baseball game from the Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities program known as RBI. And this is an international Major League Baseball initiative that the Twins run a chapter of. They're in more than 200 cities, 260,000 students or kids participating worldwide, boys and girls. And so we had about 20 kids down in the field playing a game, and that was the backdrop for the whole thing, and it was great. We had the NAACP here talking about their work on racial equity, and they also helped us with our keynote speaker. Dr. Josie Johnson spoke on the history of the civil rights movement, as well as some of the experiences here in Minnesota, because a lot of people think, it's Minnesota, what happened here? A lot has happened here. Not the same level of drama, not as dramatic as some things in the South, like the Selma experience, but still incredibly important. So we had a nonprofit showcase featuring NAACP, Hallie Q. Brown Community Center, a whole bunch of other organizations that came out. So all of that was happening, and everybody who came to the event could come in and ask these different organizations about the work that they're doing, and they had a chance to share. So we had that going on. We had our Ramsey County commissioners who have been lifelong partners of this organization. Victoria Reinhardt spoke on behalf of the county commissioners, and that was wonderful as well. The mayor's office came out. Deputy Mayor Kristen Beckman spoke for a few minutes, which was fantastic. So we had those kind of things, opening remarks for the game. The game started, and then around 6 o'clock, we had Frank White present his program on African American baseball in Minnesota. At the same time, we had what I think is an even bigger deal. 4 people and a moderator, all of whom had gone to Selma this year for the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, and they spoke about that experience to a nice crowd. It was transformative for a lot of people. We hope that the entire audience came away with a better understanding of the history of the civil rights movement, both nationally, here in Minnesota, and then also what's happening today. Let's recognize the work that's happening, let's pay attention to it, and ask ourselves some critical questions. Why does it still need to be happening? And then also, we asked people to think about a call to action, their own personal call to action. As a historical society, our job is to document and present the past. With a topic like this, that past and that history is still happening, it's still coming together. We want to be a safe place where people can discuss those things as they're happening now. We want to make sure that we're recording what's happening now. It's going to benefit people in the future to understand that. And so one of the outcomes, we're really hoping people will take this as recognition of there's still a lot of work to do. There's a lot of great people working on that right now. And there are a lot of ways you can get involved yourself if it's something that you feel like is important to you.